Family, good afternoon. I thought I'd just come to you quickly and make another short video on my thoughts today. Thinking about the difference between your weakness and your limitations, and how important it is to know what is a weakness in your life and what is a limitation. Briefly, just want to say to you, a weakness is something that's attached to you that wants to destroy you. Maybe you picked it up in your childhood. Um, you were with people that had no integrity, and they used to lying, stealing, lustful things happening around you, friends who introduced you to pornography, and that becomes a stronghold and it becomes a weakness in your world. A weakness is something you always want to go to when you feeling low, when you're tired. I believe that's why rest is so important. When you are frustrated, when things aren't going your way, there's a tendency to want to go to a weakness, because God wants to give us pleasure in our world. He wants us to create a world of pleasure around us. But when things don't go our way, we are also desiring pleasure. And that's when we go to the pleasure of the flesh. And that's where your weaknesses are. And so know what your weakness is, what you are dealing with. Admit it to people. There's a story in John chapter 3 where Jesus comes to a man with a withered hand. Jesus says to him, stretch forth your hand. He didn't say stretch forth your withered hand. He just said stretch forth your hand. And what I took from that story is that, God can come and want to heal you, but it's up to you to oftentimes present your weakness so that he can heal you from that weakness, so that his power can come and deliver you from that weakness. But we always want to display our strengths. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a time and certain people that you're going to have to say, I need help with a weakness. A limitation is something that you've just not been born with it. Um, right people who are right-handed, you are limited with your left hand. When I played soccer, I really had to work hard on my left foot to get it right. But if I never kicked left, it wouldn't destroy me, because it's only a limitation. Um, I still am a very creative person, but didn't do well at school, because at school they judged you for your academic strength, and was never a good reader. By the grace of God, I do books today. But what I do is I've had to force myself to start reading, to enjoy reading, because readers are leaders and leaders are readers. And but I've also put people around me that helps me with my limitations. And so when you see the books, it's the help of people, and that necessitates people in your world. When you start to realize you have a limitation, you're not strong in everything, and you need people. So let me say this to you. In your weaknesses and in your limitations, you need God. You need the power of God to deliver you from a weakness that has attached itself to you to destroy you. And then you also need God, the necessity of God in knowing you can't do everything. You are limited, and you have to acknowledge, but by the grace of God, we are able to do things. You also then have to honor people who are strong where you are limited. And so if they can come, and if you are humble enough to ask them to help you to overcome things. Let me also say this. Know the weakness and the limitations of people around you so that you don't have to live frustrated. Know the weakness of your wife and know the limitation of your wife. Know the weakness of your husband and know the limitations of your husband. All these things come really through a lot of conversations. Your weaknesses you want to share in an environment of safety, in an environment that you know you're going to be healed. And don't try to do jobs and try to do things and commit yourself to things where you are limited in. A lot of people are in jobs because they need the money, but they are not good in the job because they are really limited. They're doing something they are limited in. And Nothing wrong with that. We all have to go through different phases of our lives where we are building, and sometimes you have to do something that's unpleasant to you to achieve something you will enjoy in the future. But all I want to say with this video is know your limitations, know your weaknesses, know the difference between the two, know the weaknesses of the people around you, so that you can know how to pray for them, so that you can know how to help them, so that you can know how to protect them, and know also the limitations of people, so that you don't put an expectation on them that they are not able to meet. May God bless you, family. I love you dearly.